there we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Campfire Conversations. My name is Steve Billington, and I'll be your host. The Campfire Conversations podcast is brought to you by Trash Panda Decals. If you need a tin tag, an aluminum identifier for your kayak fishing tournaments, you have got to check out Trash Panda Decals. You can find them at trashpandadecals.com, tintags.com, and tourneytags.com. And I'm sure some more to come in the future. But that's enough with my shameless plug. I got a great guest for you tonight. Tonight, we're joined by Chris Platts. What's up, man?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Oh, it's a beautiful day. The Seahawks won the Super Bowl. And I don't
Dude,
have to hear about how Drake May is the new Tom Brady.
exactly. I was pulling for anybody but the Patriots.
Anybody but the Patriots. I would have cheered for the Eagles before the Patriots.
100%.
I don't even hate the Patriots. I hate how the fans just like so quickly were like, we've got the new Tom Brady. Like they were ready to pull down that statue and build one for Drake May.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Well, you know, the Boston fans, nothing against people from Boston, but they've been extremely blessed. So they're like these rich brat kids that you grew up in high school with that we win everything.
Yeah.
So they do. So.
Like y'all got crab cakes and one less ring.
Eat your lobster roll and shut up.
That's right. So for people that don't know you, give us like the 30-second to a minute. Who is Chris Platts?
So I am a avid bass angler, but also I fish for a little bit of everything. Probably learned how to start like most people, pan fishing, catching catfish, things like that. I fish in kayak tournaments. I fished in SMKA, which is the St. T Monster Kayak Anglers. We have a good group of people. I would say 20 to 30 at each tournament. I'm actually the president of the club now. I just started doing that halfway through the year last year. Fishing KBF. I actually, not to brag myself, but I am going to. I actually won the Southeastern Regional for KBF last year. I had a fantastic April. I really did it all in April. I had 119.75.
119. I've never had a good April. April is like my month of sadness. So like March, it starts to warm up and like the winter that depression starts to shed off. April's the month where like it's usually just warm enough that I can like have my bare feet on the deck of the kayak and not lose my toes. And dinks start to eat and everything feels like it's going to be okay. And then my bite just goes away until the end of May. It's like winter 2.0.
You know, typically April hasn't been good for me either. The weather's changed. It used to be February, the water was already getting 60 degrees. So pre
Mhm.
spawn was mid February. March was full on spawn all the way to the end of March. And April was post spawn, which typically I'm not the best post spawn fisherman. For whatever reason, I stink at fishing for post spawn bass. I just don't follow them.
You know what's wild is it's crazy to hear you guys talk about the spawn and like February, March, because here, um, like my 22 that I caught, that one there, she was still coming into post spawn when I caught that thing in like late May.
Wow.
And we can still find them spawning here in early June. Like sometimes our spawn, it depends on where you're at too. Like further down south, Table Rock and stuff, I'm sure it's different. But like up here, I can think of a few of my honey holes where some of them, like a large number of them, don't even seem to really enter spawn until mid-May. Like they'll be on beds in early May, but in the end of April, you can still find them cruising around like they're not even on beds yet. It's just
Really.
absolutely wild.
It really is crazy the difference when you just go a little ways across the country, how the fish act. Um, and even in some lakes, oh boy, what we
Got
got.
distracted by Andrew.
Oh, he's a distracting guy, I'll tell you that.
The man looks like a model. That's why Alex always stares at him when they're on podcasts together.
I mean, that is a interesting relationship. I'm excited to see them two, or scared to see them two actually together in person.
I hope Andrew locks his door at night.
He probably will. I mean, if not for Alex coming in to see what he looks like in his pajamas, he better lock his door because I like to pull pranks on people. It's guaranteed.
I have you ever seen the movie Titanic?
Yeah.
The way Alex looks at Andrew is like when Kate Winslet looked at Leonardo DiCaprio and said, "Paint me." Like it's a weird look that he gives him.
It is. It's like that deep love look. It reminds me of a picture I have on my wedding day. So I guess that's relatable. I was looking at my wife that way. So
I
definitely
hope
true
to
love.
I hope to God I look at my wife at the altar the way that Alex looks at Andrew. So what's it like? Because you're like director now. Like, what is that side of the kayak fishing like for you? Because I've got a thing later where we're specifically going to talk about tournaments, kind of in a funny way, and I'm curious what it's like on the TD side of it. Because obviously, I've never done that. I would never want to do that. What's that like for you?
So at first I was super excited about it, and nervous because it's a new thing. I've never done it before either. I would say that it's stressful, but also rewarding at the same time. Like I just had to postpone a tournament a couple weeks ago. We had
Hmm.
at the blue snow, and there was a bunch of wind coming in. And I get comments, "Oh, real men will go out there fishing." Well, you guys can go out there fishing, but in my opinion, I need to keep all of the anglers safe. So I make the best decision I can for our angler safety. Because at the end of the day, my number one goal is to have fun, but you guys to get to go home to your wives and your children and things like that.
Hmm. We get events canceled like that here because obviously we're way more used to the snow and stuff than you guys are. But one thing that I have never seen in any of those situations when guys are like, "Don't cancel it. Real men should fish," whatever. When they get rescheduled, I've never once seen those guys from the comment section out fishing that day.
No,
Like I'm going anyway because real men go fishing. They don't. They sit at home and they're like,
yeah,
"Man, I'm glad I'm not out there in that." Because they don't want to go either.
they do, but it's theoretically because I used to be the same way. I'm not old, but I'm not young anymore. When I was 22, 25, I didn't care if it was 22 degrees and raining outside. I would just wear more clothes and I'd go out there
Yeah,
and be miserable for 3 hours and be like, what am I doing?
real men fish in the winter.
And I do fish. Now, just this past Saturday, we had a tournament, and I saw the wind forecast. It wasn't looking great, but it was doable. I went out there and got destroyed by the wind and the waves, and I had not a good tournament. Uh,
Not looking great, but doable has got me in trouble in a few times in my life.
a lot of time, but also in most women's defense, that's probably what I look like. Coming from their way. So
Oh, I am not a desirable. Like, I do not know why my fiance, like, it's got to be, she's got to have a thing for doofy. That's really all I got going. I got doofy and spades. I'm amusing, if nothing else.
that is definitely humor. That's the only way I've ever had a girlfriend is being funny. And my wife, I make her laugh all the time, and I'm not 100% sure that she's not crazy or something. There might be something mentally wrong with her to be with me this long.
For the record, I do not think my fiance has anything mentally wrong with her.
Oh, you're not married yet? Yeah, no,
I'm
yeah.
not married yet. Steve Sturgeon's got a good question for you. He said, Steve said that he would not want to be a TD. What made you want to step into that role?
I was asked to, and I love this club. I care about all the anglers in the club. It was the first club I ever fished with, and they were super accepting. I fished in boat bass fishing tournaments for the longest time, and that's a completely different feel. You get these guys looking, hurry up and rush and trying to get you out of their way and being super secretive. Kayak fishermen, it's night and day, man. The first tournament I was in,
Your wife checking in.
that's my wife. But yeah, no, it was a totally different feel. They told me what they caught fish on. They told me how they were catching them. Hey, try this next time. It was, I guess to answer the question is, I just wanted to keep the club going. And I'm willing to
Mhm.
sacrifice some of my own happiness and time to keep other people happy.
I never understood the whole not wanting to tell people what they caught them on. Like, so when I first started fishing in the tournaments, it was a pretty laid back club that I was fishing with, or at least I thought so. But like the first event afterwards, I had asked somebody who had won. I was like, "What were you catching them on?" And he was like, "You don't ask people that." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And he goes, "Like tournament anglers, you don't ask other tournament anglers what they're catching it on." And I was like, Okay, hero." Like, it just seems so weird. Like, I guess maybe it's because I make content, or that's just the kind of person that I am anyway, but, like, I always show people what I'm catching. Like, if I'm catching fish and other people are not, it feels good not just to be like, "Hey, this is how I did it," but to help put them on fish. Like, I never understood, like, this isn't the Elite Series Bassmaster. Like, none of us are paying our bills on that. And even those guys, they show you what they caught it on.
The
Like that,
green grub, you just
the
seen it come
green
out this
grub.
weekend.
Yeah, those things. It's going to be like when somebody caught one on the buzzbait, the Brazalo. Like, get ready for those to fly off the shelf. I almost wouldn't want to be the person who makes that grub. Like, if somebody who won the elite at an event came out and said, "You know what? I give all credit to my Trash Panda decal identifier," I'd be like, "Shit."
Oh man,
I'd
calling to
be,
work. Hey, I'm gonna need a week off.
yeah, like I'm going to need to retire.
But it's
Like,
so
oh my
weird
god.
because we try not to think of ourselves as trendy, but fishermen are some of the most trendy people you'll ever meet in your life. In 2 weeks, you won't hear anything about a chartreuse pepper grove.
No, not even a little bit. And what's funny is like I I almost feel like a lot of times, I don't know because I don't watch those events, like I don't follow them that close. I don't know how much is on video or whatever. But I wouldn't be surprised if people come out and they're like, "This is what I wanted on." And it could be like, green chart grub or whatever. Meanwhile, they won the whole thing on a crankbait. They just like, don't want to say it. Like, yeah, I don't know how much of that you can trust, can't trust. But like I said, I don't follow those events, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't watch them live usually. I mean, I see the stuff on my Facebook and whatnot, but I don't
Oh, I
actually
see.
watch them too much. Every now and again, it's just not entertaining to me. I'd rather be fishing than watching people fish. I
Speaking of seeing stuff on your Facebook, so before we went live earlier tonight, me and Chris are both in the tactical fishing group chat. So we see a lot of stuff, and I had to check with the angler and make sure it was okay to talk about. So we've had somebody in our group. Well, we have somebody in our group. That's Thad Moody from Thad Moody Outdoors. Dude's an absolute hammer. And the way I met him was seeing, what was that fish he caught? It was like 24, was
and
it
three
and a
quarters,
half,
I believe.
3/4? So he catches this monster largemouth, 24.75. And so like instantly became like revered to me because I'm like, this is just like the greatest fish ever. And now I don't know how to feel because Alan Lockwood from our group, I had to write it down, caught a 25-inch largemouth
25.
that was 9.8 pounds. And so now I revere Alan, and I don't know how to feel about Thad. I feel like he's been dethroned. Like his qualification got stolen away from him. And I was talking to Alan, and I'm like, 9.8 pounds. Like, I told him he should have, and I don't condone this officially, but it's funny to say. I told him he should have poured like some Monster Energy drink down its throat or something and got that point too. Like, get to the 10-pound club. Be like, drink it, Kyle.
Right. Take it down.
Oh, there's Thad. He has been dethroned. Poor Thad.
But he's had a rough go here recently too. The guy's been stomped and kicked and had houses fall on him and what lawnmowers run over him.
That dude is so injury prone. He's turning into Kenny from South Park. It's like every day's a new episode. What's going to happen to Kenny today?
For real. I mean, I
But
guess I can't talk trash. I'm accident prone too. I literally have a fingernail. It's dying right now. It's dead. So I'm about to lose another fingernail.
I'm going to lose a fingernail or bleed out one of these days. I keep injuring my hands ever since I started with the 3D printer stuff because every now and then a print will get stuck to the raft, and it just needs a little bit of finesse to get off of there. and it's like a mini spatula is the wrong word, but it's like a mini little spatula. I can't think of the right word. And I'm constantly slipping off of prints
Oh
and
boy.
slamming the metal edge into my hands and stuff. I don't put on gloves, but like the other day I was fishing and the underside of my thumb was hurt and there was a cut there I didn't even know that I had. And every time I'd thumb the spool, I was like, damn, what the hell is that? It's
I
like a
can't stand
paper
a
cut.
hairline up like that. Like you don't see it. It might not be bleeding, but it's just tings on you.
See, Andrew thinks that I don't know, but I know. So for the audio listeners, I put a comment up on the screen from Andrew Blair Fishing. Steve, we have a confession we wanted to see on live. I know for a fact now that Alan didn't catch a 25 inch. Like they were busting balls. And so I was a little hesitant at first because that's all Alan does. Oh, there it is. He wanted to be the one to tell me. That's all Alan does is
I
buzz
couldn't bleed
balls.
him like that, man. I couldn't do Steve like that.
So I messaged Alan and asked if it was okay to talk about. And the first thing he sent me back was 3 laughing emojis. And I was like, how is this guy not happier? Like, why would your initial reaction be 3 laughing emojis? And that's when I really got suspicious. I'm also a little impressed by the undisclosed person's Photoshop skills.
Mm-hmm.
To be clear, not submitted to any events. We're not cutting kayaks in half over here.
No,
Just
no,
having it
only
clear.
in thirds.
But the 23 was pretty well turned into a 25.
I mean, it was a huge fish, and it's cool because I was just telling him the other day, Alan sometimes has trouble fishing. I'm like, dude, your whole day can change in one cast. Well, today he got reminded it literally can change in one cast. It was still a 23-inch fish, and it was huge.
Yeah, oh, the head on that thing was massive.
Yeah,
Like it looks like it drinks Monster on its own. It
it
looks like
probably
a
did. I
guy
bet
named
you his name
Kyle.
is Kyle.
It punches drywall for sure. I've never met a Kyle who like doesn't have a Monster Energy sticker or punch drywall. I'm sorry to the Kyles out there. There's good ones, but I
Sure.
mean my God, Kyle is like it's like the name Steve. Steves are always like the kid touchers and stuff in like every movie. Like Steve is never the good character.
Yeah, like it's always a stepdad who is mean or something like that. Or you know what I really think about when I hear the name Steve? A red truck. I don't know. It's just like a really good name for a red truck, Steve.
Notice that he has not done the drawing for the name.
I did
Like
notice that.
he has like Thad has quietly. So for those of you that missed the last episode, we talked about how Thad Moody got a new truck and he posted on Facebook and was like, "Help me name this truck." And overwhelmingly, the name Steve has been chosen. And Thad was supposed to like do a drawing of all the suggestions, and like 200 something of them were me. It was like all but like 4 of them were me. And that drawing has magically not happened. But that truck is named Steve.
That was named Steve for sure.
I need to make him some vinyl that says Steve, but like it copies what did they call the truck in Kill Bill? The pussy wagon. It needs to look the same, but it just needs to say Steve. I'm gonna send it to him for free.
He probably used it too. Put it on his back windshield.
Oh, he's gonna have to. I'll just come down there and put it. I'm gonna send it to Andrew. Andrew will get it taken care of. He'll
It'll
know
get put
somebody
on there.
down there. Slap it on there for him.
He's got to sleep at some point, dude.
Listen, I mean, Steve, we're all weird dudes, Steve's. Like, so Kelly, I don't know what brought this up the other day. I know Kelly thinks that I'm so damn weird. Like, she thinks I do weird stuff anyway. Like, you say tournament, which makes me so happy because I used to say it that way. That's how they say it in like New Jersey and stuff.
Yeah,
And it is literally TOUR. Like, it's tournament.
tournament.
But
Yeah.
here in the Midwest, it's tournament. And like, she mocked me so much that now I just say tournament. But so I do weird stuff like that. I fold my pizza in half, which is not something that they do here in the Midwest. That's a Northeast thing.
Yep.
But so the other day she asked me tournament. The other day she asked me we were watching the Olympics, and I don't know how it came up, but she asked me if I believed in Bigfoot, and I could tell when she asked that there was a correct answer, and I was like, I don't know how to answer it, and that like I can just tell. Sometimes when she looks at me, I can just tell. But I said, I my only hang up with Bigfoot. I feel like Bigfoot's real. But
Me
my
too.
only hang up with Bigfoot is we've never seen one of the bodies. Everything else that dies in nature, we've found the remains, whether it's fresh, fossilized. Where the hell are all the Bigfoot bodies?
Yeah. I mean, there's
Like this,
definitely evidence that they don't exist. That's for sure.
yeah, like this stuff keeps me up at night. But what that sparked was, is I was like, listen, I don't know about Bigfoot because I could tell she thought I was crazy that I even believe in this stuff to begin with. But the Jersey Devil, have you ever heard of that?
Oh yeah,
So it's what the hockey team's named after. But the Jersey Devil, that thing's real. I've seen it before. I got chased by that thing in the woods.
I
I will
believe
go
it.
to my grave saying that thing's real. And she could not believe that I was even saying that. Oh, John says they bury their dead. They probably do. But
They could. I mean, they're human-like, and this is the thing too. Obviously, there's evidence that they don't exist. But for how long UFOs didn't exist, and now the government came out and said, "Hey, yeah, they exist. Okay, here's the reports that we've been taking for 100 years."
oh, we knew that aliens had to exist because let's be honest, you've got all these people that have the same story. You can't get a big group of people to have the same story to save your life, especially now at social media. But more importantly, all of these people have come forward to say that some alien stuck something in their ass. Like, who is willingly going to say that somebody stuck something in their ass if it's not true? The people who come into the ER with stuff like light bulbs up their ass come up with all kinds of reasons of how it got there that have nothing to do with them willingly putting it there or somebody putting it there for them. Whether it's a light bulb, a sex toy, a hamster, they're so embarrassed by things being stuck up their ass. But millions of people have come forward to be like, these aliens kidnapped me and they stuck something in my ass.
Yes. Well, because I
How
feel like
can we?
that's the one reason. Like you're saying, it's embarrassing. Oh, I got a mouse stuck in my butthole. Like, obviously, that's super weird, and something is wrong with you. Uh,
What the hell is a lizard man?
oh, lizard man, that's one that's in South Carolina. I'm huge on lore, dude. I believe in all this stuff. I won't go into the whole story, but
Oh, we could
one of
go
the
into it. I want to
houses I
know what
lived
lizard
in
man is.
when I was young was haunted by a demon. And it is real. It really happened. So believe what you want to or
Oh,
not.
I
I've
believe the
seen things with
demons.
my own eyes.
I believe the demons. I lived in this house for a while in the basement of a house, and it's like a Michigan basement where it's just like a hole dug in the ground.
Yeah,
And that's where I was crashing, and it's right next to a cemetery. And so I was way into like the ghost adventures at the time and stuff. And I was like, well, so I put a sound recorder down there and I caught all kinds of voices. And I know nobody else was in there.
right.
And like, I'm like, they're going to tunnel through the damn dirt wall. Like, they're just going to get bored one night and climb out of the coffin and just right through the dirt. There ain't nothing to stop them. They're going to come in here and get me,
And
drag me
then what are
back
you
to
going to do? You
yeah,
can't
what the
find
hell do
it.
you do? I've
Yeah,
seen the ring. There ain't shit you can do.
exactly.
Not like scary movie. I started I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I missed something else in the chat.
Oh boy.
But yeah, like so I know that aliens are real. I have no doubt. I know Jersey Devil is real because it chased me on my four wheeler one time. Even my dad didn't believe me, but like he did not believe me either. Like his way of saying it was like, I know you're not drunk or anything. He's like, and I've never seen the Jersey Devil, but he was like, the amount of terror in your eyes when you got back to the house. He goes, I believe you saw the Jersey Devil.
Sure.
He's like, you might have seen a damn goat trotting through the woods, but you sure as hell believed it was the Jersey Devil.
Well, goats ain't that fast to chase you down on a four wheeler, so
My wife made me put headphones on. I wonder if that's because of us.
it probably is. And speaking of that, to where you started with the whole your fiance asked you about Bigfoot. I'm
Uh
gonna
huh.
tell you a secret about marriage since you're getting married. The better off you are pretending that you're an idiot, the better off and the longer lasting your marriage will be. And that's true advice. My wife thinks I'm the biggest idiot, which I am to an extent, but I allow her to believe that I'm an even bigger idiot, which allows me to A, get away with things that I probably shouldn't. B, it makes her feel superior, which she is superior to me, but it gives her even a higher feeling like this idiot. And she says it like that too.
If I started pretending to be stupider than I am, I think Kelly would know. Only because I'm already pretty dumb. Like, I didn't know for the longest time. I mean, like, well into my 30s, I already had a kid. Like, well into my 30s, I did not know that girls pee on pregnancy tests. That is not how I thought those worked.
See,
Like,
that
in
was
my
an
def
opportunity. You dropped the ball. That was an idiot thing, and you could have just kept going with just ease into more idiocracy.
well, like, in my defense, it looks like a thermometer. And what thermometer out there that looks like that? Like, not the laser ones, but no thermometer that looks like a thermometer doesn't get stuck somewhere.
Right.
But boy, howdy, was I wrong on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't remember the moment that I figured out that they do pee on it, but I could see where a man wouldn't know that. I mean, how many pregnancy tests have you taken?
Personally, none.
Yeah, I'm two for me, but
He's submissive like a good boy. Oh, that's funny.
My wife is
He believes in the stork too. Hey, Andrew, how long is that stork? Is it about 25 inches? Oh man, we hadn't been dating too long when I had to tell her I was afraid of gnomes because Kelly's like in love with gnomes. She's got them all over the place, and I'm like, I don't mind the stuffed ones so much. It's the statues that I
Yeah,
don't trust. And like when we're convinced that it was probably my dad. I'm mostly convinced. I can't let go of that last little grip that my dad was just screwing with me. But my stepmom had one in the garden when I was a kid, and that thing would come in my bedroom all the time. And then what really got me, like, because I always held on to this reservation, like my dad's doing it. My dad's making it move from the garden to here. My dad's making it move from my garden to my room. My dad's the one making it sit on the back of the toilet. So when I get up for school in the morning and I turn on the bathroom light, it's sitting there staring at me and everything's covered in dirt. They went on vacation and I was home by myself and that thing showed up in the house. I don't know which one of his friends could have done it, could have got in there without me knowing. The alarm was set. They would have had to orchestrate some shit that I don't think they would have taken the time to figure out to put that gnome in the house to screw with me.
if they did, props to them. I mean, that's
Yeah. If it
through
was
and
all my
through.
dad, if it was all my dad, he's brilliant. Because I'm 40, am I 41?
Yeah, we're the
I'm
same.
40, I'm 41 years old. And I am still nervous around gnome statues. Like I won't turn my back to them. Them
So
and emus.
when we
I
meet in
don't
person, I'm gonna wear one of those little gnome hats just to throw you off guard a little bit.
the statues, man, they get me. It's which is funny because I own. See, now they're coming into my head. I own several of the gnome themed T-shirts from Meat Eater. Like, have you ever seen those?
I don't think I've seen those.
They have a whole thing where like the gnome goes mermaid fishing, or I think they have one that's like Bigfoot hunting. They have several of them. It's basically gnomes hunting and fishing like mythical creatures,
Okay.
and I've got several of those, and they're some of my favorite shirts. So I mean, even my own fears don't make any sense.
Do you look at the shirt before you put it on, or
Sometimes, yeah. No elf on the shelf for Steve. I just got done with that last year. Like this past Christmas was my first one without that, and I was so happy.
good for you? I would never do the on a shelf. That's a lot of commitment, man. It really is. I'm just not committed to Christmas that much.
Kelly's not nearly as into like the holidays as I am. Um, but man, I'm a huge Christmas nerd. I like and I like the stupidest Christmas movies too. Like, have you ever seen Noel
Oh yeah, that's one of the
with
best.
Anna Kendrick?
Yeah,
Well, like I watch it because Anna Kendrick is Anna Kendrick. But that damn movie makes me cry every freaking time she goes back to the kid that can't the deaf kid.
yeah.
Like, my God. And I don't know why I subject myself to it, but I also cry when I watch The Notebook. So, like, Steve just probably shouldn't watch movies with moments like that.
That's probably a good option. I can say I have never through and through watched The Notebook.
Oh, that's such a good movie. I can quote that movie.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, Kelly knows what she's getting into. I believe in aliens. I believe in the Jersey Devil. I cry at the Notebook. I like Noelle. Like she knows what she's getting into.
The whole
She
package.
Yeah, she's getting me hooked on figure skating now, like
The
with the
figure
Olympics.
skating is legit.
Oh my god, I've become like obsessed is the wrong word, but like obsessed with Amber Glenn and like her whole story and like watching her skate and all that stuff. Like I'm so invested in the Team USA figure skating now that like it's unreal. And in like a day, my whole Facebook feed became about figure skating and fish. It's
Yeah.
like Bass, Amber Glenn, Bass, Amber Glenn. Like that's all my feed is now.
New dream. Now you can go ice fishing while you watch Amber Glenn skate off to the side.
Steve, did you say you watched The Notebook? The Notebook is my favorite movie, Chase. I am not afraid to admit it. It used to be Beauty and the Beast, but The Notebook knocked it off at some point.
And you saying that's your favorite movie? A favorite movie is like a super hard thing for me to like put my finger on. Like this one is my favorite movie.
Yeah, mine was Beauty and the Beast for most of my life. And I always used to say it was Beauty and the Beast, but and that Notebook was my second. But I watched The Notebook several times a year. I can't say I watch Beauty and the Beast even once a year, but then I've got those what do they call them things? I got them on the wall. The pop figures.
Oh yeah,
I've got a
Funko
whole
Pops.
yeah, Funko Pops. I've got a whole display of them. One of them's Taylor Swift, one of them's Tom Brady. All the rest of them are Beauty and the Beast.
I
I've
forgot
got
about your
almost
Taylor Swift.
Oh, I'm a huge Swiftie.
Swifty.
I love Tay Tay. Like everybody gets so annoyed when she shows up at the Chiefs gate and stuff, and I'm like, look, it's Taylor.
Yeah. I know people get bothered by that. That doesn't bother me. I just genuinely just don't care for her music. No offense to her. I just not my taste.
Well, what's funny is I like some of her original songs. Several of them like a lot. I don't like the majority of them, but she's got songs that I don't like, but I do like when they're covered, like the rock covers.
Oh yeah.
Um, I want to say it's I'm gonna get it wrong. I want to say it's Our Last Night, maybe. One of the bands covers them all the time, and they covered one of her new ones, and it's an absolute banger when they play it. When she sings it, I don't care so much, but it's all about Travis Kelsey and how great he is. Like I don't care about that part. Like that dude inspired a whole album, so I don't know what he must be doing.
He laying it down, bro. He doing something right.
I mean, normally her albums are inspired by her hatred for men, but now she's like engaged and got this whole album of love talk for Travis Kelsey.
Yeah. It's
Have you
good.
ever
Maybe
watched?
it'll take her musical career in a whole different direction.
Have you ever watched their podcast, Travis Jason Kelsey, or like the
I haven't
clips of
watched
it?
like a whole episode, but I've watched parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just see the clips. And when that song Wood came out, Jason was all over it. And like he's like building it up to his brother. And his brother's pretending to play stupid. Like, no, that's not what the song's about. And Jason's reading it like lyric for lyric. And he was like, this song is about your penis. He's like, no, 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 that's not what it's about at all. And he's like, yes, it is. He's like, you've got nothing to be ashamed of.
Exactly. I need my wife to write a song about me.
If my fiance wrote a song about me, I don't know that I would want the world to hear it.
Oh, I'd laugh at it. I know it'd be hilarious.
It
My
wouldn't be
wife is
like,
probably the funniest person I've ever met in my life.
oh, Kelly's way funnier than me. She roasts me all the time. Like, I'm better on text mess when she roasts me because I can pretend not to see it for like 20, 30 minutes while my Windows 95 brain processes something that's like comparably mediocre funny like against hers. But man, in person, she just like sometimes I just stare straight ahead. She just knows she got me. There's like
Yep.
nothing I can even say. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hilarious to myself. I say jokes sometimes in front of my wife and son, and I think it's the funniest thing I've ever said. And they're like, please stop. But truly, they do
Yeah.
think it's funny. Dad jokes, man.
Yeah, when my jokes don't land, I'm just like, oh, okay, well, screw me. I guess I'll go back to the drawing board.
Exactly. Move on and keep going.
I oh, Chase is funnier, and Chase he just doesn't want to admit. You know, I believe that Chase isn't really all that funny. Like Chase never says anything funny. Chase just laughs at all the funny stuff that we say in the group chat. I can see Kayla being funnier than him.
I bet she's hilarious.
I bet she is
I'm
hilarious.
looking forward to find out. I'm getting to meet both of them next week. They're coming to the same team.
Yeah, I'm like the only one not coming.
So you
That's
got to
okay.
change that. But you get married this year. You got a wedding going on.
That's right. Gene, ask Chris how you liking your new kayak.
Man, I like it. I'm a super honest guy, so I have positives and one negative, to be honest with you. I don't love the steering on it. I am going to upgrade the steering. It's not as, and everybody's going to hate me when I say this, but it is not as good as Hobie steering. And that's just the truth. And Hobie's steering is legit. Um, the
See, and I
propel
hated
drive,
my Hobie steering.
really?
Yeah,
Mine turned on a dime. Like I could turn it, and I had to get actually used to not moving my rudder cable so quickly because it would turn too quick. Um,
was that with the factory rudder?
that's factory rudder.
My Outback was pretty good. I put the Boondocks rudder on it and it was better. My Pro Angler turned like a sloth. Like even with the 360 drive, I would have to kick the 360 to get a real responsive turn, which made me crazy. So I put the Boondocks rudder on that, and then it turned on a dime.
Yeah.
But the factory, like I had to modify the Hobie steering to like it. What don't you like about the new steering? Like what makes
Well,
it? You think it's the rudder?
yeah. I mean, I think it's part of it's me because I'm so used to one thing and I'm getting used to another. So it could just be that the kayak is a native Slayer Max 10.5. So I have gotten used to it. I fished out of it probably 20 times now. So now I'm much more used to it. I can control better with it. And it was really my control. Although I fish slow and I like to pick apart an area, I also power fish until I find an area. So I like to
Hmm.
move, cat. And I don't like to just stop. Um, so what I had to learn to do with the propel drive and the steering, I figured this out, is instead of pedaling and then cast, if I hit reverse two pumps,
Hmm.
then it kind of keeps me right there on the pace that I want to go and keeps me straight. So
Yep.
part of my personal issue was me personally, just not being used to the way the steering is. Propel drive is absolutely phenomenal. I thought I was going to get hung up in the grass,
Mm-mm.
clean it off all day because I had a hoodoo before I had a Hobie. And my hoodoo has a similar drive, but it is inferior to Native's propel drive. I'm just saying flat out, same bodies of water, totally different experience. Um, Stability to get 10-foot kayak, I don't think it gets any better. I mean, I
The
stand up on it and dance when I catch 22-inch fish. You know what I'm saying? It's
mhm.
great.
The biggest illusion Hobie's got going for him is that the Mirage drive is superior to everything else.
That
And
drive's terrible.
I thought it was true when I had it, especially the 360. And then I tried other drives. Like Hobie would have you believe that the prop drives are junk, Mirage is king. But what you realize is even with the 360, you've got to actuate that thing to get the forward and backwards. And you'll find, and you probably already have, how often you'll pedal forward, reverse, and it's just like this subtle little change that keeps you in place and doesn't disturb the water as much. Whereas with that 360 drive, when you're kicking that thing, I mean, you might as well just be taking a paddle and smacking the water. Like
Yeah,
the fish don't love it.
the being able to reverse immediately. I fish in a lot of close quarters and stuff too, up against cypress trees, and those fish will try and pull you into that tree or try and go into the tree. So being able to quickly maneuver and not have to reach down and pull a cable while you're trying to fight a fish. I've lost several big fish. That's where the whole "I lost a giant" came from. A lot of that come from me not paying
Mhm.
attention to the fish and trying to pay attention to boat position while 8 pounds on the other end of my life.
Yeah, the best kayak is the one you're not thinking of while you're using it. It just becomes intuitive, which is part of what's got me leaning towards getting a Titan. But it might be it might be a big adventures thing with the factory steering because I love my PWR. The only two complaints I've ever had about the PWR is the rudder doesn't drop easy enough. You got to pop the cord and then feed the line into the hole. I
Yeah,
don't care how much I adjusted it, it doesn't matter. I've gotten used to that. I just pop it and feed it. The other thing I didn't like was the factory foot steering. it always felt too stiff or not responsive enough, or it always felt like it was jamming up. And I was constantly cleaning the rails because if any little bit of dirt or dust build up on those, they wouldn't work right. And you've seen my kayak. I don't wash it enough to be
Right.
dealing with foot steering like that. And when I switched over to the Source Steer from Source Made, night and day difference. Now the foot steering, the only trouble it ever gives me is every now and then one of the lines will come up over the drum trailering down the road. So like when I launch, I just take a quick peek and see, make sure the lines. It's like one out of a
Easily
hundred
avoidable.
trips. Yeah, one out of 100 trips. I got to fix it.
And yes, I can see over the bow bed.
Yeah, Chris is the subject of a lot of short jokes.
I am what I am, and that's all that I am.
Yeah, the Titan 12.5 is calling my name. And
Yeah,
the funny part is, it started really calling my name when they put out that Gator Green. But I don't even know that I actually want a Gator Green because I like my black, gray, dark colored kayaks, and I've already got a bright green RVR.
right.
So I don't even know why the Gator Green's calling to me because I don't think I even want that one. And I don't know
I
that I
got
even
the
want it with a
wave
pedal board.
stripe. Um, I like it. It's like black with a little blue.
I do like the Wave Strike, but I like the one Andrew got that it reminds me of the Top Gun on my PWR.
Yep.
I don't know if Top Gun's what they actually call the PWR, but that's what I call it. And then the RVR's Venom, which if nobody's ever seen the green RVRs, you ain't missing that thing. See that thing a mile away. I love that color kayak, but I don't know that I need two of them.
Well, it's funny. The guy Don that just mentioned about me seeing over the bow. He had a bright yellow Hobie kayak. And so, like, I could always see where he was fishing. He's a great fisherman. Like, he was always at the top of the leaderboard. He was actually the
Mhm.
president of SMKA before I was. But he could be 2 miles away from you on the lake. And all I had to do is look at the leaderboard and look around, like, oh, Don's catching him over there.
Yeah, now I can go catch up to him. That's me with my whip light when we launch. And not that anybody's trying to follow me, but it would not be hard. Like I saw a video somebody had from last year at Mark Twain Lake where me and like four other kayaks went the same direction. And this person went the complete opposite. I bet they were 2 miles away. And on their video, you could see my whip light until it went around the corner.
Dude,
I
that's
mean,
great.
there's no missing me. Everybody, I see the post on like kayak freaks and stuff, and they're like, "What's the best light pole?" And people are like, "Yak Attack Visi pole," and I'm like, I'm thinking junk, or like this, and I'm like junk, and I'm like 360 whip light for a side by side all day,
And
every
who
day.
makes that?
That one, mine's made by X Bright or XC Bright or
Okay.
something like that. I mean, there's a million different companies that make them for like all the same price, basically. But
Yeah.
it's a 3 foot whip light that has the white LEDs all the way around it. And I just took the flag off of the Yakutech Visi pole when I broke the 100th million one of them, and I zip tied it to the whip light. And I got two of them. It came in a 2 pack, so I've got one
Heck
for the
yeah.
RVR and one for and it's got a quick release. So I just pop that quick release off like a coupler, like what an air hose has. It
Yeah.
just pops right off of there. So when I go to launch, I just quick clip it in and plug the wire in, and it's good to go. And it's all hooked up to my wireless remote. So, but I tell you what, if I was going to go with one where I didn't have to like, or didn't want to wire the kayak and all that stuff, I'd get that Guardian Angel wireless kit. I think
I've
it's
really been looking at
absolutely.
the Guardian Angel, man. That thing looks sick.
I think I want it for the RVR, just because I don't. The RVR is going to need to be registered because of the NK 180, but I don't want. I don't want to mod it. It's still my throw and go kayak, so it would be nice if no batteries are left in it when I'm not running the NK 180. So I think I might get the Guardian for that. John said, "How much does the Whipper light cost?" So they keep changing prices on whip lights. It varies all the time. So my 2 pack, when I bought them, was like $98 for two of them with all the stuff that they needed. Now I think I sent the link to Andrew not that long ago, and I want to say it was like 120 or something like that for a single. But if you take like 5 minutes on Amazon looking for 3 foot whip lights, you'll find them pretty cheap. Oh, what did Charlie say? Charlie Sanders checking in. He said it was pretty hard to see my black and gray kayak on the side of the road.
Dude, I
It would
bet.
have been I still feel it's funny he can joke about it. For people that don't know, or if you're listening on audio, Charlie was at what event was that?
That was a Bassmaster, I believe.
I think, or was it KBF? It may have been the KBF
Oh,
one.
yeah, it was. It was
Yeah,
KBF
it
Championship.
was. He was at the KBF championship and his Titan came off his trailer and just got absolutely destroyed. And that he really the community came around him in a big way. But I'm glad that he could joke about it now because it still hurts me when I see those photos.
I
But
have
yeah,
literal nightmares about that. I know every kayak angler has the same anxiety. If you're dropping and you see somebody behind you and you keep looking in your rearview mirror, you're like, dude, please, if you hit my kayak, I'm literally gonna kill you. Then I'm gonna go to prison. Then I'm gonna have to get face tattoos. And I just go down this rabbit hole of the things that will happen if somebody runs into me. In
what
the
I
fact
like to
it's my kayak.
if I'm in the right hand lane and my cruise is set to like 70 and somebody is riding my ass when I'm towing the kayak, I will just cancel the cruise and not even touch the pedals.
Yeah,
And I'll just let her drop. I'll take it down to 20 mile an hour. I don't care.
yeah.
Like I will punish them for riding my like I don't care. I get annoyed when they ride my ass in general, but I get real annoyed when they ride my ass with the kayak. Yeah,
Yep.
see, if I fished at night, like a lot like John does, I would definitely get the gator green. But
Yeah.
I don't night fish I should night fish more than I do in the summer, but I
I
haven't really
like,
night
and
fished
I've
that
gotten away
much.
from it since I've been fishing so many bass fishing tournaments, but not catfishing, bro. I know some people hate on it, but I will take my kayak out to an island, middle of Santee. I'll start a fire, pack of hot dogs, some
Yes, ma'am.
beer, and we'll start a fire. We'll sit there, me and a couple buddies, and we'll have one of the best times, like memorable times.
Yep.
Sometimes we catch fish, sometimes we don't, but it's just an awesome time. Just hang out there.
My favorite thing to do, and I haven't done it in years, I need to, is to load up my cooking kit and stuff, my portable kit, and my hammock tent, and just go float down a river, set myself up with a pickup, drop off, whatever, and
Yep,
just go float down the river until I find a spot I want to camp at. Set up camp. I just bring like a thing of ramen noodles or something simple to cook in case I don't catch fish. And then just sit there on the bank with a fire and cook up fresh fish or steak or something, and then just pass out in a hammock tent and paddle home in the morning.
there's something so peaceful and like I don't know, like revitalizes you after you go on a trip like that.
This comment says on his first trip out as PWR, he almost got rear ended. His kayak was like an inch from her windshield.
Dude.
That would be so much worse if it was like the first time out.
I'm done with this.
I'm coming into my third season with my PWR, which is the longest I've had any kayak in like 10 years. But I still would be sad if something happened to my PWR. I can't imagine on like the first trip
Yeah, that would
because
be terrifying.
you never love the kayak quite as much as you do before it actually sees water. Because once it sees water, like no kayak's perfect. They're all perfect in the garage. And like one thing I've learned is I used to get a kayak and then I would start drilling the holes and everything. I'd rig it all the way out before I might go fishing once or twice, but like I would rig it out exactly how my garage brain says I want it.
Yep.
And then within like 3 months, I'm like, all right, I got to reconfigure this. And now I'm like plastic welding over holes. And like now I don't do that as much, but they're all perfect in the garage. And then that first time out is where you find that like one thing that's going to irritate you about that kayak. Mine was the foot steering. I was so happy when SourceMade came out with their version of foot steering because it came out shortly before the Wizard. And I was like, I am not paying for the Wizard steering. And I didn't like some of the other stuff that was out there. And then when Joshua dropped that, I was like, as soon as he showed like a teaser video, I was like, I need that.
Right,
And
that's the one.
luckily, I work with them, so like I was able to get my hands on it pretty darn quick. But yeah, that made the kayak a million times better.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm actually different in that aspect. I like taking my raw kayak out, other than like a flat pack, and I like to fish out of it and see what things I would like on it and what
Mhm.
things annoy me on it, and just kind of go from improving from there. And I learned to love my kayak with more time on the water.
I wish that I would do that just for the recovery practice because I preach that to all the new people and I never do it myself. Like I do practice recovery, but I never do it when the kayak's brand new and stripped down, which is
Yeah.
like the best time to do it. I always end up practicing after everything's rigged out. Michael Hill said, I'm kind of wishing someone would hit my unlimited. But Michael, let us know in the comments why you want somebody to hit the unlimited. Like, I'm trying to decide if you hate it that much or like if you just really need the insurance money. Like, I'm really curious what's going on there.
Yeah, 'cause I've heard from a lot of people that have unlimited that they love those kayaks. Those guys that are with unlimited, they love their unlimited kayak.
I have not found a single person yet that says anything bad about the unlimited.
Right.
Like, I found myself, I suggested it the other day. I want to say it was in Kayak Fishing Dads. Somebody was asking, like, what kayak would be best for him. And he was like describing his size. But then he said he wants to use it for fishing and hunting. And I was like, listen, if you're going to use it for hunting, there's literally no other kayak in the conversation at that point for me
Right.
than like the Unlimited or the Unlimited Max. Like, it doesn't get any better than that if you're going to throw a deer in it. Like, I know so many guys that went paddling this year when they went deer hunting that then threw the deer in the Unlimited. And you can see all their gear, and this thing is like strapped to the bow, and that thing is level.
Dude,
I,
that's
I can't, yeah, I've never seen a kayak level when I stand up to take a pee, let alone a deer sitting strapped to the front like that
dude, that's
up
a
in the cockpit.
nerve-wracking moment. Every time I have to go pee and I stand up, like, dude, this Saturday when it was so windy and there's these 3-foot waves, I would have to pedal to the calmest spot I could see, which was sometimes like half a mile away, and I had to pee so bad. You know, you're pushing it, you're in a tournament,
Uh-huh.
so I'm like, oh, come on, cat, come on, cat, and I finally ride off. And then, matter of fact, a bass boat rolled up on me, and I was like, dude, I don't care. You just gonna have to watch the show.
Yeah. If you can't figure out from a distance what's going on and wait a second or go a different direction, that's on you.
Yeah.
I was taking a leak in the wind and chop on Friday and wasn't even thinking. I was drifting, so I just reached down and hit the spot lock, not even thinking. But I was facing the opposite direction, and that motor spun me so fast. I about came out with my dinky in hand, man. It was so close. I ended up flying back into the seat. I peed on my graph because, like, now it's at the wrong trajectory. It was a sight, man.
It's
And
all
I
broken in now.
Yeah, and I had turned the video off because I hate editing and seeing myself taking a leak. It's not something I want to look at.
Yep.
What did Michael say? So Michael answered back. He doesn't hate his unlimited, but I think there are other out there that would better fit my needs. But yeah. Oh, you want a pedal drive? Yeah, I can understand why.
I love a pedal drive, man. I know that a lot of people like motors, and nothing against motors, but I love a pedal drive.
Yeah, I'm working on getting a quote. I'm with Festive Water, so I'm waiting for my team price on the Titan with and without a pedal drive. But I just don't know that I would buy it without the pedal drive because not that I'll even take it 99% of the time, but God, do I want to know it's sitting there in the garage the times that like I don't miss having a pedal drive, but I want a pedal drive,
Yeah,
if that makes sense. G Royer said you're in a native, go through the drive hole.
I,
I
I
in the
would,
PETA
but I'm wearing 4 inches of clothing, and it's hard to pull 1 inch out of 4 inches of clothing. That's pretty impossible. It just doesn't do the math unless I was like one of those little peeing fountains and like.
That was me when I fell back in the seat. I turned into a pee fountain. I've got my winter clothing kind of dialed. I've got a Norfin float suit, and I almost never wear the jacket because it's
Yeah.
just bulky and I feel like a sausage and claustrophobic. But I wear the bibs, and because they're so warm, I only wear a thin thermal base layer underneath. So like I don't have to pull through a lot. It's a lot better when I would have multiple layers on under there, and
Mhm.
it's a lot more comfortable. And then I just wear the Reaper hoodie, and then I throw a coat on if I need it, like a coat
I,
that's not from the float suit.
I gotta join y'all's club of wearing the Reapers. I gotta get one. Everybody I know that has one loves them.
I am not a huge like AFCO pushing person, but I love the Reaper hoodie. Thad said bad luck struck again, and apparently we're gonna find out what that means in the group chat. But oh my god, I just feel so bad for that guy. He is
I
a
hope he didn't
walking
poke his eye
accident
out.
lately. You
I'm
should
telling you, he's gonna have to become a real estate agent, bro. He needs to just sign papers or something all day.
Charlie said I should get a native so that we can have like four of the five people on the tactical team in them. He's not wrong. Like tactical fishing, our promo team is quickly becoming native.
Yep.
Now, that is to say, Alex now or Andrew now has a native. He's got the Titan, but he's only going to have the Titan for like 3 months,
Matt,
like before he's in something else.
he
And if it's a,
says he's going to hang on to it for a while, but I've heard that 16 times in the past year.
he's going to be in a Hobie pretty soon here. He's going to be talking about how the Hobie Outback's the greatest kayak he's ever owned.
I will say that's one thing I will not see him in. I can guarantee you that one.
My next prediction is an XTR. Because I think what he's gonna justify it though. He's gonna qualify it. He's gonna be like, listen, I'm getting the XTR only so that Caleb and I can film this specific content of the XTR battles, and then I'm getting rid of it. And but like he's gonna that Titan hit the Titan kayaks that go to Andrew's house. It's like when a puppy gets adopted from the shelter. And it's like finally a family that's going to love me. And like 3 months later, it's back in the shelter looking for a new family because he gets bored with it so fast.
Well,
No,
I think that he will stick with this one for a while. And I think the
mate.
yak specs, him being able
Yeah,
to modify other people's kayaks, is going to fill that need that he has. That really
yeah. Maybe
drives him to sell his kayaks.
his little rigging twitch will be satisfied for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. It
Thad
is
said,
cool, speaking of the XTR, to watch Caleb Costa fishes out of XTR, and he is loaded down with like 163 rods, two
"Oh my
27
god,
inch
yeah."
graphs, and he's just moseying on along out in the main body of water, fighting all these waves.
He looks like an offshore fishing charter.
Yeah,
Like he's just got rods and stuff everywhere. Like that man's probably got a gaff on that boat. I don't even know why, but I wouldn't be
right.
surprised if in case he catches a tuna out there in the fresh water, he's probably got a gaff. He's got
Where he
everything, man.
fishes, he might catch a tuna. He's fishing out there in like 40 foot of water. I don't care for none of that.
He's out there live scoping turtles at 90 feet. Oh, Michael said. He's talking about Andrew. He said he likes to rig him, hasn't figured out yet. You could take everything off and start over. I believe it or not, Andrew has started over his rigged kayaks more times than you can imagine. Like that dude, he'll send something to the group chat and I'll think he got a new kayak again, but really he just got bored and went stripped his down and started all over again. And like he'll come up with something and I'm like, that's genius. And by
Yep.
the time I get around to copying him, he's already telling me how much that sucks because he's on to something else. And then he got a PWR and I was like, finally, like me and Andrew have the same thing now. Like we can be in this special club. No, he had to go to the Titan. And then that bastard had to make me want one.
You
I
guys
was
didn't even
so
get to bump PWRs one time before you got rid of it.
no. Oh god, if we bumped PWRs, how jealous would Alex be?
He'd fight you.
He would fight me. So last week on the show, I did this little pre-planned segment called "Stupid Shit People Actually Said on Facebook,"
Oh, okay.
and I shelved that one this week. I've got one written at the bottom. I'm going to save for the end. But have you ever listened to Alex Rudd's podcast?
I have, and I'm going to get yelled at because I've been told by several people to listen to it.
It's a good podcast. He does something that he got it from somebody else who I think got it from somebody else. So like he even says openly that like it's not his original idea. So I'm more than happy to say it's not my original idea. But he does this thing called overrated, underrated, where he picks random topics, some of them about fishing, some of them not. And then he
Okay.
asks his guests, like, do you think it's overrated or underrated? And sometimes the guest goes first, sometimes they make him go first. But I made a list of stuff and I want to do overrated, underrated.
Heck yeah, let's do it.
So, overrated or underrated? Kayak fishing tournaments.
Underrated.
Why do you think they're underrated?
I think it kind of goes back to what I was saying. It's not even about the fishing, although the fishing is super fun. It's about the camaraderie and this immediate bond that kayak fishermen have. It's
Mhm.
something that's just its own thing, and you can't replicate it anywhere else. I played on football teams, baseball teams, basketball teams, believe it or not, I'm sure. And those have their own bond too, but kayak fishing has its own bond. If you have not gone to fish in a kayak fishing tournament because you're nervous or worried about what other people will think, wipe that out of your brain. Go out there and fish, and you can thank it.
I think that they are overrated for the drama,
Really?
but incredibly underrated for the fellowship. Because the drama on Facebook over fishing tournaments is like insane. If you step back and you just look, if you didn't know that people were talking about kayak fishing tournaments, you would think they were talking about bass boat tournaments.
Yeah.
It is toxic. The fighting and the like, that fish isn't that good, or that mouth is a little open, or yeah, he caught that, but it was on this. Like, it is unreal. So overrated for the drama, but definitely underrated for everything you're talking about because it's
I
not
can see that.
really about the fishing. Yeah. Thad's right. He said, yeah, but drama is everywhere. He's right. I saw somebody the other day, it was they were commenting on one of the skaters for the US in the Olympics. His parents died in like
Mm.
a plane crash. I think it was like just a few months ago. And so he made it to the Olympics, which was like their dream, but they can't be there. And there's a photo when he was waiting on the announcement whether or not he got a medal, and he's got a photo of his parents and he's holding it, and it's like this huge moment for him. And somebody commented on there and called him a dipshit for holding a picture of his parents and said, "You crybaby little bitch." And
That's
I was just like, how horrible of a human being do you have to be
yeah.
for that thought to like even enter your mind? So he's right. The drama is everywhere.
It is.
All right, I'm excited about this one
Okay.
because I'm gonna use examples of people without saying their names, and there's gonna be several people you're gonna think of, but overrated or underrated? Brand ambassadors.
Brand ambassadors. Completely overrated.
100%. There is a guy. This is what made me think of this. He does it all the time, but he did it like 2 days ago, and it just jumped out at me when I was trying to come up with topics. I wrote it down. There's a guy who every post he makes, whether it's on his page, in a group, every post serves to suck off some brand that he is involved with. And if anybody suggests anything else, he's like, no, no, you don't understand. This is the only way to go. And it's like nobody could possibly want to take any of his advice seriously because it's just a nonstop suck off fest.
Yeah.
And then there's another one. I won't say his name either. He fishes for a kayak brand. He's on their team. And it's a team that just about anybody can get on, I think, if they happen to own that particular brand of kayak. There is not a post by that brand, for that brand, about any other brand that this dude is not on in like 0.2 seconds sucking off that kayak manufacturer
Yeah.
every time. It could be like I'll give an example. It could be like, I need a lightweight inflatable kayak to go hike up into the mountains and float down rivers. And this person would be like, have you seen the NAR?
Right. The exact opposite thing that you need.
Yeah, it's just, so brand ambassadors are so overrated the way that 99% of brands do it.
Well,
Like,
it makes it hard because I have a few brands that I promote. And it's not
me too.
like you're saying, I don't suck on their teeth or whatever, like tactical fishing, for example. I do
Hmm.
have the opportunity to get to test some of the baits. And I'm able to give valuable information, like real time fishing information to the owner, Andrew, and let him know what I really think about it. So I
Yeah.
don't have to go out here and promote things that I don't like, things that I don't use. And I don't make every post about it. That's ridiculous. Like, have some personality, have your own personality.
Yeah, and I really like the way Andrew does his promo team is how I do mine at Trash Panda. And like all the brands that I work with, there's not a single brand that says don't use other people's stuff.
Right.
There's not a single brand that says don't post about other people's stuff. Like I have brands reach out to me all the time.
Hmm.
And I always say the same thing. I'm like, I don't want your free stuff unless, because there are some things I'm interested in. 99% I'll turn it down. But every now and then somebody will reach out and they're like, I had one the other day. It's a company, they're making a Garmin InReach, but they're doing their own version of it.
Okay.
And they reached out and said, we'd like to work with somebody who's in kayak fishing to help get this out there. And this is the product, whatever. And I looked at it and I'm like, that's pretty cool. I want a Garmin InReach. I would check that thing out. And I said, I would take that. But the only way I'm going to do it is this is how I do everything. If I like your product, I will talk about it in my content where it is organic and genuine to do so. I will not go film specifically for your product.
Yep.
I will not go, oh, here's an opportunity to hawk your product. If I like it, it will work itself into my content organically, and I will tell my viewers and followers about it. I said, if I don't like your product, you'll never see or hear from it on any of my
Exactly.
stuff. Like, I never put anything down. But I said, that's the deal I'm willing to give. Ghosted me because that's not what they want. What they want is somebody to take the free stuff and then go on there like some of these other people were talking about and just like a bunch of cheerleaders. This is the greatest thing ever. It's the best thing ever. When it's brand new. It's not proven.
Right.
There's nothing about that product. Like, my name means something to me, even if it doesn't mean something to a lot of other people. Like, I'm not going to attach it just to get free stuff. I've had brands offer me stuff and then not follow through. I mean, all kinds of weird stuff. But I have a feeling that Michael knows exactly who I was talking about
Well, I think a
because
lot
he
of us
said
know. And
doesn't
it's
even get
funny
free
because
gear.
those guys,
Simple.
I like to think that most people are smart enough to see through the bull.
I
Uh,
sure hope so.
they do, man. Like those guys that you're talking about. I look at their views and their likes and their reactions. They're not getting anything off of it because they know it's much of BS.
Yeah. I like when the people fight about batteries.
Oh
And
my
then
god.
there's one person who always shows up in the battery conversations, but like they'll fight about batteries. If you want to go spend $800 on a battery, go for it. But like, why? Like, so it comes down a lot of times to like Power Queen and Vever.
Hmm.
And people will be like Power Queen, which they're great batteries. I have several of them. I have a Power Queen running the off grid system in my Jeep for when I'm literally off the grid. Uh, my trolley motor on the front is on a Power Queen. Like, I've got several of them. I don't dislike those batteries, and I used to use them as my primary suggestion. Now I use them alongside Vever because Vever has come out with batteries that cost less than the Power Queens. They're literally identical as far as the battery itself internally is concerned, and they come with Bluetooth for
Yeah.
less than the base model Power Queen. So I'm always like, hey, Vever Power Queen, Vever gives you an edge, why pay more, whatever. And then there's one person who will always be like, Power Queen, best in the business, best customer service. And I can tell you firsthand, their customer service is ass. Like, absolute ass. I still suggest them, but at one point I would have been potentially working with that brand. And I'm just like, I can't any longer be like, hey, here's my affiliate link, go buy this product if they're
Right.
not going to back it up. Like, it matters. So, and that's not to bash Power Queen. Their product is great, but can't always get them on the phone. But it's a good example of a brand ambassador who just like it's just tunnel vision because they're not even that one's not even being paid to do it. I think it's all just affiliate revenue. But like every time, this is the only thing. Don't look at the other things. This is not the droid you're looking for if it's anything but Power Queen.
Right.
So complete. Let's see. Michael said, I am in fire protection and all batteries scare the hell out of me. I don't disagree. I do not charge my lithium batteries or any of my batteries, honestly, when I'm not at home. I monitor them. I'll go out there and check on them. I don't disagree. Their batteries are in every dang thing. My smoke detectors are wireless batteries now.
Yep.
They're wireless with like a 5-year battery life.
Yeah, on the houses that I do, we install hardwired smoke detectors to avoid bad situations. I'll tell you a story. Fishing with a good friend of mine, John Dave. We were on his boat, and I forget how, but he ended up falling out the boat. We were probably drunk, if I'm being honest with you. I don't remember. But he had a vape in his pocket. So he gets back out of the boat, or back out of the water into the boat. And like 10 seconds after he's getting in, we hear this like sizzling, popping sound. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, and his pocket's getting all hot. He pulls his vape out of his pocket, and it's like a different color. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, throw that damn thing, bro. So he reaches back and he throws it. And I bet you right before it hit the water, this thing like exploded.
Yeah, people don't realize that. Between the batteries of popcorn lung, those things are dangerous.
Yeah, bro. And I mean, I have one, but I quit smoking cigarettes. So I'm trying to ease off of this thing too now.
Thad said Renergy or bust with batteries. He's not wrong about Renergy though. My off-grid system, it's a Power Queen battery, but my DC to DC converter is Renergy. My whole control system is Renergy. They make really good stuff. There was another company, and I can't remember what it's called. Their DC to DC converter is like super popular with all the off-grid people. And it's like $900 or some crazy number like that. And that's how I found Renergy for a fraction of the price. It does an absolutely good job.
When you guys go off grid together, do you like pull out your little duckies and have like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Do you guys like play with them, or do they just sit on y'all back?
They just sit on the dash, man. I I'm starting to get annoyed about the ducks, but not with the Jeepers. I'm getting annoyed with the ducks because now you got Honda Civics and stuff with ducks in them. And like I
Okay. I
almost
thought it
feel
was
like
just a Jeep thing.
it is. And it
Okay.
almost feels like it's my right as a Jeep owner to smash the window and steal the ducks. It's like stolen valor. Like I don't want to compare it to military service, but in a very micro segmented way, I kind of understand the fake valor thing now because when I see these ducks that are not in Jeeps, I get so mad. It's so irritating. There's one at work and they park next to me all the time and it's a minivan and
Yeah.
it's got more ducks than my Jeep does and
Oof.
it irritates me to for no logical reason whatsoever.
You should ask them if they have a Jeep at home. Be like, oh, do you do this just to remind you of the Jeep that you once had, or you have one at home? I'll ask them.
Charlie said you have pre-scheduled visits to the mechanic.
Right, right.
No, I've got a baby Jeep, so I don't have, knock on wood, I don't have nearly the problems that the Wrangler owners do. But I had enough Wranglers in my lifetime that the pain of that will always live on. Like that joke will always sting.
Yep. One of my
Oh,
good childhood friends.
John's trying
Oh,
to trigger me. John said he saw a Bronco yesterday. It had like 50 ducks. Like they're ripping off the Jeep. They might as well have the ducks, I guess. Like there's nothing about that thing is original.
well, you know why they were at Dollar General? Because they overpaid for a Ford Bronco. So now they are forced to buy all of their food and all of their amenities from the dollar store. Don't get me wrong, I shop at the dollar store too, but they have to shop at the dollar store. That has to be one of the most overpriced pieces of overhyped junk that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, 100%. Broncos and the Hobies.
Yes.
Like the
If
overpriced junk. I
if
went to
I
the dollar
saw a dude pull up in a Bronco with a Hobie on the back, I would already know I'm going to beat him out there that day. And if I lose to him, I might could never fish again.
I tell you what really hurts me physically is when I accidentally wave to a Bronco. Because sometimes in the low light, because they're such copycats, you can't always tell. And I'll like wave to them, and then I'll realize it's a Bronco, and I pull my hand down like it was never there at all.
But you got
And
to make sure they see it.
part of me just knows that like the other Jeep owners know my shame.
Yeah.
Like they know that I violated the sacred act.
You probably saw a little blue duck in their windshield when you were going by.
Michael said, "Are you even allowed to have ducks in your Renegade?" So, for those that don't know, my Jeep is a Renegade, but I have owned enough Wranglers that I feel very comfortable having my ducks. Matter of fact, the first duck that went into the Renegade was the only one that I saved from my last Wrangler. I gave all the other ones away, and then the one that has the propeller on his helmet, I saved that one. The second duck was the middle finger one for all the Jeep people that don't wave to me because I'm in a Renegade.
Y'all should throw ducks at each other. That would be cool.
Oh, Duck Wars would be awesome.
Duck
I
wars,
saw
man.
I saw a picture on Facebook where somebody zip tied a frozen duck to the door handle of a Jeep. And
That
it said, am I doing this right? And I was like, my God, I hope they're not on vacation or something. Like, I hope they got that duck while it was still frozen. Imagine coming back from a weekend, the Caymans or something, and it's rotting duck down the side of your Jeep.
oh my god.
It'll never be the same.
Oh, one of my simple pleasures in life is stupid prank videos. but not mean ones, where it's like somebody runs up and hits somebody with a bat. That's just stupid. That's not a prank.
Yeah, it's a good way to
But
get shot, is what it is.
it's a good way to get shot. But this dude I saw where he prints off these business cards that looks like a $50 bill on one side, and
Mhm.
on the other side, when you pull it out, it says "You part like an asshole."
Oh, that's brilliant.
Dude, it's when the first time I saw it, I died laughing.
I need a bunch of those for the boat ramps.
It would work out perfect for your boat ramp videos.
I should do it's usually bass boat guys too. So like on one side it should just say like free glitter. And then the other side, because they love glitter.
Uh,
Uh-oh. Thad's coming for you at the Bassmasters.
Dude,
Said he's
bring
gonna
it
prank
on,
you.
bro. I love a good prank. Like I said, as long as it's not harmful. Like I'm scared to prank you because I don't know. I might try and pop a balloon and you could choke on it or something like that. Like you're so
Yeah. Yeah,
accident prone right now.
don't prank Kenny. I I almost can't wait to get into the group chat and see what happened to him now. I just can't believe there's anything left.
Ain't it?
But yeah, it's I don't know, pranks. I'm not a good person to prank. I got a decent sense of humor, but like my dad was the worst person to prank. He worked at a prison and he had somebody he I can't remember what they did to his Jeep, but like somebody had pranked it and he told him he's like, "Don't touch my Jeep. I don't play around with that." And so somebody else did something and oh no, they threatened to let the air out of the tires on the Corvette is what it was.
Mm.
And then he came out the next day and the low pressure light was on one of his tires.
Oh, hell.
And that guy had, I don't know, like a Mazda, something that had a sunroof on it. And the sunroof was open. My dad left and came back with like this massive amount of packing peanuts. And he poured all the packing peanuts down in the car. And then when the guy came out from work, my dad was sitting next to his car with a 5 gallon thing of gasoline and a match. And he pretended like he's about to pour it into the sunroof. And the guy's like freaking out. He's like, Chuck, Chuck, Chuck. And he's like, I swear to God, you ever touch any of my shit again, I'm going to pour this in there on the packing peanuts and I'm going to watch it burn. Like, my dad was a psychopath.
Holy crap.
So, like, this is how I grew up knowing about pranks. And then I turned into a prankster, but I don't always take them well. Like, I'll go back to work tomorrow and I've been off for a week. And like, if the armrest on my chair is a little off, I'm automatically like, who sat in my chair? Like I'm turned into a grumpy old man at some point. So I don't really do great with pranks. So if you're good with them, you're a better man than me.
Oh yeah, I love a good prank as long as it's funny.
Yeah, I always think stuff's funny when it's other people. But like
It-
sometimes I watch those videos of like where they prank people in public.
yeah.
And I'm just amazed that they don't get the crap beaten out of them.
Have you seen the bush guy? The guy that's dressed up like a bush?
That guy's hilarious.
Dude, that is one of my all-time top favorites.
The guy in the bush and the guy that ties the snake to the fishing line and drops him in the
Yes.
tubers. Those guys are hilarious. Like if I'm floating in a tube, I'm terrified of snakes. If I'm floating in a tube under a bridge and a snake falls on me, I'm coming out of the tube. And when I realize that it's some dude on the bridge, I'm gonna laugh. I might
Oh
call him
yeah.
an ass, but I'm gonna laugh. What's the other one? The gator head. The remote
Yes.
control
I've
gator head.
I've done the Gatorhead one. I got
Have
that.
you really?
Oh yeah. Me and my son, we went to this little pond. It's like a little duck pond, and people are always out there feeding ducks. And we did the gator head. We hid behind this giant willow tree, and we put it in the water. And there was this little family. It was like two moms and two kids, and we brought that gator head right around that willow tree. And then, oh my god! And me and him died laughing.
Oh my god, the Gatorhead's almost overdone at this point. Like I
Yeah,
think people like to a disturbing point because I think a lot of people might now assume that a gator is somebody trying to prank them, and they might just reach out and smack that thing, and they might. I've never fished around gators because when I was in Florida, I always fished the salt.
yeah.
But like, I don't know, coming over your way where the gators and stuff are, I always think it's cool when I see the 12-foot gator on the bottom under Andrew's kayak or like the one that he caught on the frog and he was holding. I always think that's cool, but I don't know how I'd react if that gator was swimming under me or if I just looked down and there it was. I might shit myself.
Dude, they become an annoyance. Like you'll go through a period where you're like a little scared of them or possibly terrified. And then time goes on and you see him and you're like, okay, whatever. And then it gets annoying because you're throwing your frog, you're trying to catch some fish, and this freaking alligator keeps trying to catch your frog.
Oh, so that's like a real. I thought it was like a freak thing that Andrew got one on a frog.
No, it's
Oh, that.
a constant thing. You'll see them, they'll pop out and try to eat your frog, and you have to reel it in real quick. It's almost like birds trying to eat your spook. I don't know if you deal with that a lot.
So they're freshwater dolphins.
They are freshwater dolphins. They're
Because
the
that's what drove us nuts in Florida was the
dude,
dolphins.
dolphins are the assholes of the oceans.
John said, "Did you guys ever see the bush guy lay a dude out?" I did not see that one.
No, I didn't see that one.
Michael said, "Don't put your kayak in the ocean. There are sharks there." So what's funny about that? I ocean fished for the majority of, well, it's not the majority of my life anymore, but pretty close. And I've caught small sharks like sand sharks and stuff. I've caught big sharks out of a boat. My dream is to take my kayak down in the Gulf and get towed by a bull shark. Like I am terrified of the gators. And I think that when the bull shark is actually next to the kayak and I'm like looking at it and it's right there, might be a this was stupid moment. But I want to bring a bull shark that's at least half the length of my kayak up. So if I'm in a 12 and a half foot kayak, I want a 6 foot bull shark. And I want to see it next to the kayak. I want to touch it. And then I want it to go away. And if it eats me, I want my fiance to make sure that footage ends up on YouTube if she gets the camera back. Like, I'll live stream, I don't know, but if I get eaten by a shark and you get the SD card, by God, get that thing on my YouTube. Like,
Absolutely. No, that's to each his own. I don't like messing with that. I fish in the salt water, but not in the ocean. I fish in like creeks. Not saying sharks can't be there, but I deal with those dang dolphins more than anything.
a canal might be the best place or a creek to find the bull shark.
It
They
could be.
love getting up in the skinny water. I've seen them out in the kayak, but I've never caught them. Michael said I better stick to crying during the notebook. That's pretty funny.
uh,
Well, we've been going for an hour and 21, so I think we might wrap this one up. I know
Sounds
you
good
work
to me.
today. I've got work tomorrow. I did have one stupid shit people say on Facebook that I want to highlight. For the first time, so I've been making content for 6 years now in like a month. I have never, ever blocked anyone from the Facebook page, the YouTube, anything until yesterday, the day before, when I blocked the guy who said this because I got tired of his trolling, negative bullshit. This guy said, was wondering if you're going to have someone we've actually heard of on here talking about the podcast or going to stick to various size content creators. Now, that particular tool, if he's listening, is here in Missouri. And I don't know what, usually when somebody doesn't like me, I can figure out what I did. I don't know what I did to that guy. I don't know if this doesn't like me or if he just likes to troll. But man, he doesn't have a positive thing to say anywhere on Facebook that I've seen him make a comment. And I just got tired of his stupid ass comments. So he got blocked. He's this week's person that said stupid shit on Facebook. So congrats, Brian.
I do try and see things from both sides. I will say this: if I only caught fish this long my entire life too, I'd be pretty bitter, I guess, as well.
Yeah, he's not placing on any leaderboards. Not
Yeah.
that I am either, but like, come on now, he's just a tool.
And I get not hearing about me, and I appreciate you inviting me on the show because I'm not that well known, but I am trying to get well known. So I appreciate you opening up the opportunity for the little guy, figuratively.
Yeah, I mean, I can still consider myself a little guy, but like the whole point of the podcast isn't to have like there are some bigger name people that I would love to have on here. One of them I'm going to reach out to actually tonight before I go to sleep. But like the point of the podcast is to just have people on and have conversations. And like his initial comment when I announced I was going to do a podcast, and to be honest, I sat on the podcast thing for like 3 years because everybody's got one. There's a million podcasts. Like it was hard to even figure out what night of the week I was going to do the live because everybody's got one.
Right.
And it was like, do I really want another one? And when I finally announced it, the first thing he said was like, great, another podcast nobody wants, or, whatever version of his stupid thing was. And I'm just like, if you don't want to hear it, don't tune in.
Right.
Like that kind of person is missing the whole point of this podcast. So just because And personally, I would rather listen to podcasts with, for the most part, people I've never heard of. Would I love to have Alex Rudd on here? Yeah, I would fanboy the hell out talking to Alex Rudd because that dude's taught me so much about bass fishing. I would love to be able to just be like, hey, man, thanks. I appreciate it. But like, there's a million podcasts with every, like, it's rinse and repeat.
Yep.
I want to have, like, I want somebody to be able to watch the podcast and be like, that's a conversation I could have. You know what I mean? Or that's a conversation I do have. So I think it's awesome that those of you that I've invited so far have embraced it. Nobody has told me no. No, like every single person I've reached out to has so eagerly jumped at it. And I just appreciate that a ton because it is a new platform. And so we've got 11 people on right now. We had like 22 earlier. It's the first episode between the people that watched it later, and the audio listeners on Spotify and Apple is like 120 listens.
That's
I
awesome.
am ecstatic about that.
Yeah.
Like that's 120 people that wanted to hear us talk. That is freaking awesome. So I'm excited to see how this one plays out and have you on again another time. And it was just a lot of fun, and I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. I had a great time, and thanks again for having me on, dude. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I really I appreciate all of you guys that came and commented. Like I know, as somebody who is a chronic commenter on podcasts, I know how much work that can be. I would like to see Caleb on. Um, I think that might be a conversation. Dina Davis is definitely on the list of people that I should reach out to. But like last night, for example, I was commenting on Chase's podcast, and at the same time making all these identifiers. And so like I know what it's like for people to take that chunk of time out of their day, whether they're listening, commenting. So I really appreciate all the engagement. You guys in the comment section, you're freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And it really gets me amped up. I'll have a hard time going to bed now when I get done this because I'll be all jacked up. But awesome,
All
man.
right.
It was a lot of fun. I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So,
I appreciate it.
all right, buddy. I'm going to end this real quick here.
All right.
Hang on.